today's session we are going to learn about grinding part 2. Now, in the previous class we have studied about different grinding process, what is grinding, what are the safety precautions and materials used for bond and some tool signature, etc. Now, today's class we are going to learn about special purpose machines or precision grinding machines with their working principle, block diagram and advantages and disadvantages. Before going to the today's session, let us once again recap what is tool signature or tool symbol. That is, when we go for purchasing or ordering a particular grinding wheel, so how do we go for it or how do we select it? Let us see this slide. In this slide we have given different things. That is, as we know, this is the first one, 51A36L5V23. So, what is this 51A36L5V23? These things will be appeared on the grinding wheel. 51, this is given by the manufacturer symbol. It is his option, what is that he wants to give. Next is A, it is type of abrasive, what type of abrasive particles that we are using on the grinding wheel. A is nothing but aluminum, and in case of silicon it will be given as a silicon carbide C. So, it is A means the abrasive is aluminum. Next one is grain size, this is 36. So, here grain size means per inch how many number of grains will be there, that is 36. Here in this coarse, medium, fine, three things are there. So, it comes from coarse means 10 to 24, medium 30 to 60 and fine it is 80 to 180. Now, this comes under 36 is under medium. So, this grain size is a medium grain size. Next is the grade. So, here when it comes to the L, so if you see here there is soft, medium and hard. So, here L comes under medium. So, here medium means what type of bond strength we are going to keep for that particular grinding wheel. That means how it how much force it takes. Then comes to the structure 5. So, here there is a spacing from the closest to the most open. So, how much width are in between the grains, that is given as a 5. So, here this is mostly these are option, and next is a bond, what type of bond that we have used, this we have learned in the previous class, vitrified bond, silicate bond, rubber band, etc. In this bond V is given as vitrified. So, this particular grinding wheel is made of vitrified bond, and this is a manufacturer's reference. Again, this is option of the particular manufacturer what to be given, in which it depends on his batch size or his time of the manufacturing or whatever it may be. So, this is about the important aspect of the grinding wheel, how to recognize. The next one is we go for different types of grinding operations. So, what type of operations can be made in the grinding operation? First one is flat surface grinding, cylindrical grinding, cutting of the blanks, tapered surface grinding, complex profile grinding, gear tooth grinding, screw thread grinding, cutting tool grinding. These are the different types of grindings that we can make on grinding operation, right. How we have to do all these operations? So, there should be certain method for doing all these operations. So, what are the grinding methods available? Now, you can see first one is cylindrical grinding. So, what is cylindrical grinding? In cylindrical grinding we can go for outside diameters, inside diameters, surface grinding and taper grinding. All the four grindings we can do it. In surface grinding only horizontal surface can be done, in face grinding only vertical surface, and set wheel grinding. So, here short workpiece is there, compared to the length or width of the grinding wheel, then we go for set wheel grinding wheel. In feed or cut grinding wheel, here the workpiece is very short compared to the width of the grinding wheel. Next is a form grinding. So here form surfaces to wheel opposite to the workpiece. That means whatever the form we need, that can be made, but that form can be attained through the grinding. But the thing is, the grinding wheel will have the opposite form to the workpiece, whatever that we require. For example, we want to go for convex shape, the grinding will be in a concave shape, right. Now next we go for some other grinding wheel operations, that is centerless grinding. Here if you see centerless grinding, so what is this centerless grinding? There are certain items which cannot be made through the center grinding, then we go for this. This is a special method. In this, external grinding, internal grinding can be done. Next one is snagging. The snagging is nothing but operation to remove the small particles which are called gates. Spruce means again runners and razors on the forgings, to remove the fins and castings and forgings, etc. Then we go for snagging. Next is offset hand grinding. In this rough grinding, workpiece is in hand and pressing the grinding wheel. So in this, the workpiece is taken into the grinding and it is moved towards the grinding wheel and pressed. Generally this thing we will observe in all workshops where these tools are going to be sharpened. In that case this will be used. Now let us go for classification of grinding machines. So how the classification can be done based on the operations or methods like that, right. Now according to the quality of surface finish, according to the quality of surface finish. So what is the quality of surface finish? What is the grinding finish we need? Rough grinders, precision grinders. So two types are rough grinders and precision grinders. In rough grinders, only thing we need is only about the amount of stock removal, but there is no question of accuracy, whereas precision grinders, accuracy is needed along with the surface finish. Accuracy is also important, right. Now let us see these grinding machines. Rough grinding, precision grinding. In rough grinding, bench and hand and some other flexible shaft, etc. are there, that we have learned in the previous class. Now we are going to study about this part of precision grinding, cylindrical grinding, centerless grinding, surface grinding and tool and cutter grinding. So in this case the objects workpiece are which are cylindrical, and whereas here which are not cylinder or which are not having a perfect center and which are awkward pieces which doesn't have these things, and the surface is flat surfaces, we can go for the producer. This is how the classification of different machines can be done, right. Now let us go for what is a rough grinding. Now here removal of stock without accuracy, any accuracy, floor stand and bench grinders, portable and flexible grinders, swing frame grinders, abrasive belt grinders. Here it is B and stock. So here it is heavy stock removal. This is how the rough grinders can be made. Next is the precision grinder. Precision grinders are those that finish parts to a very accurate dimensions. Precision grinders are those that finish parts to a very accurate dimensions. Very accurate dimensions is important. In this, first one is cylindrical grinders. The cylindrical grinders mean center type, plane grinders, center type grinders in cylindrical, that is universal center type grinders. Another one is centerless grinders, where or which can be done, doesn't have any centers. Next one is, next classification is internal grinders. So we want to go for grinding inside the surface. Say for example hollow shaft is there. So how to do it? So that is this can be done by checking, three types, in checking, plane and universal. Second one is planetary, and third is centerless. So in these three you can go for internal grinding. Next is surface grinding. Here compared to this surface grinding, here the amount of removal of stock is more and speed process can be done through this surface grinding. Of course, in this there are two types of things, reciprocating table and horizontal spindle. So, reciprocating table. In this reciprocating table, it may be the spindle might be horizontal or vertical, that is horizontal spindle, reciprocating table one type of machine, vertical spindle, reciprocating table another type of classification. Next one is a tool and a cutter grinder. So, again this is generally used for this sharpening of the cutting tools, either single point cutting tools or multi point cutting tools. So, in this tool and cutter grinds, two are things, universal tool and cutter grinder and special tool and cutter grinder, and whereas in the universal we can go for different types of grinders on the same machine, whereas in the special type only that special type whatever that we need that can be done, what only for that particular purpose of the tools. And in addition to this, there are some different machines, grinding, special grinding machines. This is crank pin grinding, thread grinding, so that you can grind the threads, cam grinding for grinding the cams, roll grinding, valve grinding, and numerically controlled grinding, NC grinding. This is the latest technologies which now we are going to follow these things. Right. Now, we have studied about different types of machines, including special purpose machines. Now, we go for each one clearly in detail how this works. The first one is cylindrical grinding. So, how this cylindrical grinding will be done? What is the principle? Here, the holding the workpiece rigidly on centers, rotating about its own axis, feeding. Work is traversed past the wheel by hydraulic or mechanical or hand. Width of the wheel face is more, no traversing. So, once again, holding the workpiece rigidly on centers, as in case of lathe, the workpiece can be held in two centers, head start, tail start, like in lathe. In the same way here also we have to do it. Second thing is rotating about its own axis. This workpiece will rotate about its own axis. Next, feeding should be given either to the work or to the tool, that is grinding wheel. Now, work is traversed past the wheel. So, work is the traverse means moved, transported past the wheel towards the wheel. How this wheel movement will be there? Either it might be hydraulic or mechanical or even hand, that is manual also we can do. The another thing is, in this cylindrical grinding, width of the wheel face is more. That means workpiece is having less thickness or weight compared to the grinding wheel, hence we need not go for any traversing during the operations. Right. Next, continuation this. Most common type of grinding tools is a tool post grinder. In this cylindrical grinding, most common is the tool post grinder, and wheels of large diameter mounted directly on the motor shaft. So, wheels of large dia, always large dia means generally you can go for grinding wheels on the motor shaft, directly they are mounted. If the wheels of small dia, auxiliary shaft is provided and runs at higher speed than motor. So, wheels of small diameter, if the diameter of the wheel is less, then instead of directly going for the shaft, motor shaft, we are going for auxiliary shaft, additional shaft which is provided, so that this wheel runs at higher speed than motor, that is motor speed, it is more than the motor speed. Next, in this grinding, both internal and external cylindrical grind can be done. So, both the internal and external cylindrical grinding can be done in this things. Now, so this is how the basic operation or working principle of a cylindrical grinding. So, by this, what is that we know? That means there must be certain movements, either work should move or tool should move, and work should revolve, and tool must also, that is grinding wheel should also revolve, and traversing action should be there, work should pass the wheel or wheel should pass the workpiece, that is vice versa, etc. So, now let us see this, what are the important basic movements in this. So, the work must revolve, the wheel must revolve, either wheel or work must have traversing, wheel fed into the work, or vice versa. So, the work must revolve, revolve. Second is wheel should also revolve. Next, wheel or work must have the traversing, that is traversing motion should be can be given to either wheel or a work. Next one is the feeding. So, how the feeding will be given? Wheel fed into the work or work fed into the wheel, that is vice versa. Both can be done. So, these are the basic movements which we need things. Now, let us see the principle or how the cylindrical grinding machine works and with its basic parts. Let us go for studying this. Now, see this figure here, the basic parts, main parts of the grinding machine, base or bed, then table. Here there are two tables, upper table, lower table, then headstock, then wheel head, then tailstock. Of course, this is a last but not least, it is a grinding wheel. Now, let us see each part how it works. Base or bed. So, this is base which is support for all this entire system. It is a huge one, and inside this, if you have any mechanisms of this table mechanisms or this reversing levers, etc., whatever it can be made or it can be there. And in addition to that, if any liquid these coolants are using, that can be stored here, that pumps, etc., all the mechanisms will be here. And coming to the table, there are two tables here, upper table and lower table, and lower table is resting on the slide and upper table is on the lower table. On the upper table we will find a vase on which this tailstock and headstock are fixed. On the upper table we will find the T-slots for fixing the workpiece as well as not the fixing of, for fixing of the headstock and the tailstock. Then wheel head, in the wheel head all the mechanisms of the driving mechanisms of the grinding wheel, etc., will be there, and the motor, separate motor will be there. Again in the headstock also separate motor for shaft running, for rotating or revolving of the workpiece will be made, and different types of in headstock live center, and whereas in tailstock dead center. In between this live and dead center the work is supported and it revolves, and when this revolves the cylindrical grinding operation takes place. Here in this lower table, this wheel head is on the lower table and it moves towards and away from the upper table and 90 degrees to the bed, 90 degrees to the upper table, so that the feeding can be given. So, here this tool can be given this longitudinal movement, that is transverse action, and cross feed also can be given towards and away from the tailstock, that is in 90 degrees. So, this is about the basic principle or operation of this particular cylindrical plane type cylindrical grinding machine. Right. Now, let us see whatever so far I have told, what are the basic parts of in this cylindrical grinding machine. The first one is base. So, it is a casting table driving mechanism. So, whatever the table driving is there, that can be made here. Second one is a table. So, in this two types of tables are there. First one is a lower table, slides on ways on the bed, provides traverse of the work, moved by hand, power within the desired limits. So, here it is a moved, how either by hand or power, how it moves, how much it should be moved within the desired limits. So, what is the thing that we need, how much length it should be traversed. So, as per that we will go. Next one is upper table. So, when you go for upper table, having T-slots for securing the headstock and tailstock. So, I told you that it should be it should hold work head as well as a tailstock. So, for that these T-slots are there to secure the headstock and the tailstock, mounted on the top of the sliding table. So, on the sliding table, that is a lower table, it will be there, can be swiveled and clamped in position. So, it can be swiveled, this upper table can be swiveled and clamped in a position. And how much it can be swiveled, that is taper setting up to 10 plus or minus 10 degrees by swiveling head. So, for this upper table swiveling head will be there, it goes for plus or minus 10 degrees, so that taper setting can be done. Next is adjustable docks are provided for reversal movement of the lower table. So, adjustable docks, that is for reversing the table, either moving left to right or right to left, like that. When you want to reverse the movement, then this docks will be done. Next part is a headstock. So, what is this? It supports the work by means of dead center and drives the work by means of a dog. So, or it may hold and drive the work in a check. So, it may hold and drive the work in a check, that is a headstock. In the headstock we will go for the workpiece. Next is tailstock. It can be adjusted or clamped to various positions. So, at what lengths, at what position that we have to go for it, that can be done through this tail stock. Next one is wheel head. It carries a grinding wheel and driving motor is mounted on slide at the top and rear of the base. So, driving motor is there, grinding wheel is there in the wheel head, and how these are there? These are sliding at the top and rear of the base. It is on the top of the base, again rear of the base, and may be moved perpendicular to the table guideways to feed the wheel to the work. As I told you already, it is having 90 degrees to a table. Next is a cross feed. So, in addition to this traverse, we go for the grinding wheel is fed to the work by hand power or by the engagement of the cross feed lever. So, that lever is there in the figure. Through that we can find out this cross feed can also be given. Right. Now, as we have seen in grinding machine, there are two things: plain grinding machine as well as a universal grinding machine, then centerless. So, in this plane, what we have seen the principle, the operation. Now, what type of profiles or what type of grindings can be done on this particular machine? The plane or stepped surface. So, either plane surface or stepped surface can be grinded. External cylindrical grinding can be done. Tapered grinding can be done. Concave and convex radii, that is the plural form of radius, this can be done. Undercuts, form grinding, whatever the types of forms, either convex or convey or profile or jig type, different types of things can be made here. Right. Next, let us go for the second type of universal type grinding machine, center type. This is as we know that when we go for universal, as in the case of milling machine, so it will have certain movements extra in addition to the plain milling machine. So, all the other parts are same, but there are certain addition things or extra things which can be given. So, those things now we are going to study here, and the remaining things are same as it is in the previous plane center grinding. Let us see what are the additional characteristics that this universal cylindrical grinding machine. It differs from plane in the sense wheel and head can be swiveled in horizontal plane about their bases, produces steep tapers. So, wheel and head can be swiveled, wheel can be swiveled and head can be swiveled in which horizontal plane, about the horizontal plane and about their bases. For what purpose? Producing steep tapers, that is, whereas in plane grinding we produce only plus or minus 10 degrees, but whereas here it is above that, that is steep tapers are there, then we go for this thing. The next one is headstock can be made to carry a live and dead spindle as desired. Headstock can be made to carry a live and dead spindles. So, headstock in a previous case, headstock live center and tailstock dead center, whereas here this can be done, both can be done in this thing. The third one is wheel and head can also be swiveled to plus or minus 90 degrees to grind tapered surface. So, whereas in plane it is plus or minus 10 degrees, now here it is 90 plus or minus 90 degrees, that is another advantage. The fourth one is wheel and head can also be arranged for internal grinding by addition of auxiliary, here it is I, wheel and head. So, that means actually this is a external cylindrical grinding, that is external surface can be grind. Now we are going for with auxiliary, that is additional fixtures or additional things we can accommodate, so that we can get internal grinding also in a external grinding. So that is another advantage of this universal grinding machine. Next is, you can see this different types of machines in this universal. So again, bed, this is a wheel head, here tail stock, and this is a headstock, and these are the two, these things slide for sliding of the things, and two tables are there. And here if you see, nowadays we are going for a totally numerically controlled or automation machines. So in this is automatic universal type grinding machines, which we can program it and do the things. And this is still more, here you can see this grinding wheel, and which is enclosed in an AC thing. This is also computerized numerically controlled machine. And these are the different types of cylindrical grinding wheels, different types of cylindrical grinding wheels. So what type of wheel it is and etc. will be known here. When you see this here, whatever in the first we have learned about this abrasives, grains etc. will be printed here, and by seeing that we can take here, and different diameters of the things are here, and whereas here the diameter is almost equal to the width, and whereas here width is less, that is on the periphery also we can go for the different things. And this is also on another type of universal grinding machine. And here you can see the clear view of two grinding wheels are here, so that at different things we can do this, and even with the internal grinding also can be done here, and external grinding and combination can be done here, and this is also there. All these things are new, that is latest machines. Here you can find the same, whatever so far we have seen the same thing here, and these are the slides and the tables etc. And here also, here you can see this is internal grinding or face grinding etc. can be done. And let us see, now we have seen different types of machines. So what is the details of that particular machines that we can go for this cylindrical grinding? So how much length that we can do, how much diameters, and in one traversing length how much it will take. So here range of work speeds 20 to 30 SMPM. So range of work speed, work rotates at a speed of 20 to 30 surface speed in meters per minute. Wheel speeds are 1500 to 2000. Depth of cut at each reverse is, if it is roughing cut, 0.125 mm, and whereas finishing cut 0.0125 mm to 0.625 mm, and longitudinal feed is 1/4 to 3/4 of the grinding wheel face. That is, what is the grinding wheel face width that will be taken, out of that 1/4 to 3/4 we can be taken for the things. Right. Now so far we have studied different types of center type, plane as well as universal grinding. Now let us go for today's another important is centerless grinding. So it is a method of grinding exterior cylindrical tapered and formed surfaces on workpieces that are not held and rotated on centers. So it is a method of exterior up to this on workpieces we can do on a center grinding machine, but that are not held and rotated on centers, in that case only we go for this centerless grinding. So when we go for centerless grinding, you see this figure, in this centerless grinding you can find here, this is a grinding wheel, and this is a supporting wheel or regulating wheel, and this is a tooth rest. So in between these two we can find the process centerless grinding. So the work is supported in between two rollers. One is a grinding wheel, another one is a regulating wheel, and here we are going for external grinding, whereas internal grinding, that we will see it later, right. So, this is about different types of. Now, let us go for principal parts of centerless grinder. One is grinding wheel, two is regulating wheel, three is a work rest. All these three as shown in the previous figure. Next, let us see individually what is grinding wheel. So, it is a grinding wheel is large wheel. So, we have seen three types of two wheels, out of which is higher in size, large size, it is called grinding wheel, the smaller is a regulating wheel. Next, what does regulating wheel or backup wheel does? It is a small wheel and it is rubber bonded abrasive wheel having frictional characteristics. So, this should have a frictional characteristic so that it can hold the workpiece through the friction, holds the workpiece against the horizontal force of action. So, how it holds? Through the horizontal force of action, controlling its size. Next, imparting necessary rotational and longitudinal feed, imparting necessary rotational and longitudinal, it gives rotational as well as longitudinal feed, that can be given by regulating wheel. Next, both wheels are rotated in the same direction. So, here both wheels are rotated in the same direction. Next one is work rest. So, in this gives necessary support to the workpiece against the cutting forces. So, gives necessary support to the workpiece against the cutting forces. So, when grinding wheel and regulating wheel both are rotating, it should have the support that will be given by this work rest, and regulating wheel is inclined at an angle from 0 to 8 degrees or 10 degrees to the grinding wheel for axial movement of the work. So, here what is happening is, in the figure we have seen, in between two rollers, that is grinding wheel and regulating wheel, we find the workpiece, but when we see it, it is almost they are in line, but actually they are not in line, they are from 0 to 8 to or 10, that is up to 0 to 10 degrees variation can be there. So, why it is inclined, that variation, that is for axial movement. So, that particular workpiece should move in axial direction, then certain angle is given, that angle is 8 to 10 degrees, from 0 to 10 degrees we can make that angle, so that axial advancement or axial movement can be done, right. Now, let us go for methods of supporting the work in a centerless grinder. So, how many types that we are going to support the centers? So, these three types, through feed, in feed, and third one is a end feed. So, these three types, by these three types we can through feed, in feed and end feed. So, in some of the cases workpiece is having less weight compared to the grinding wheel, in some cases workpiece is having long length, that is a more in length, and in some cases workpiece is having some shoulders or tappers which obstructs the axial movement or traversing. In such a case we have to go for these three types of So, what are these different feeds? Through feed. So, here the gap between the regulating wheel and grinding wheel is adjusted equal to the desired diameter of the workpiece, and then job is fed and passed through the wheels and applied to the plane parallel parts such as straight long bars and roller pins. So, here what is happening is, first we will set a grinding wheel and a regulating wheel, both what is the limit, what is the gap between the grinding wheel and regulating wheel as per the work pace requirement, and that can be adjusted. Then we will go for the giving the motion. Then it once it directly starts, the grinding action takes place. Whatever the movements are feeding etc. will be firstly it adjusted, and where it can be used for plane parallel surfaces we can use this. Now, you can see this figure how the centerless grinding principle appears. Here this grinding wheel, this is a backup wheel, and this is a work support, and this is actual piece. Now, here I told you that this is 8 to 10 degrees inclination. So, when we see here it is almost in line, but when you come to this side view, you can find the axis of this is inclined from 0 to 10 degrees. So, because of this inclination we will find this axial moment for further production of the work. Right. Next, let us go for second one is in-feed or plunge cut grinding. When the workpiece is of headed, stepped or taper form, then we go for this in-feed. There is no axial movement of workpiece. So, in this there is no question of movement, only that we will work, we will grind, then again another thing we will go for it. Length of grinding has to be controlled. So, here it is not through feeding. So, we have to control it. So, how much length it has to travel, so that how much grinding can be done. Like in such a case, this can be used. Now, you see here there is the different things here, grinding wheel, regulating wheel, and here end stop and ejector. So, that here there is a workpiece, here it is the head is coming, it is obstructing, and this is a end stop or ejector. So, that beyond that it will not come, whereas here it is having long. So, first it will start the grinding, then advanced or axial movement takes place, but directly it will not take. First it will grind, then axial movement takes place. The next one is end feed. So, this is used for headed components which are too long to be ground by the in-feed method, that is when the work is greater than the width of the grinding wheel. So, width of the grinding wheel is more than the work, then we go for this. It is given up to certain portion of length, then axial movement until whole length. So, up to certain length we will go for certain portion, then axial movement. So, that then further whatever the length is there, it goes on. Now, here you can see this here. So, this is the tapered work, this is a grinding wheel, feeding can be given in this direction up to what. So, here this head is becoming an obstruction, so that here end stop is given, so that you can get the stop here. So, this particular thing, the tapers etc. can be done in this particular feed. The next one is advantages. So, we have seen three types of centerless grindings. Now, what are the advantages of centerless grinding over the center grinding? So, unless there is no center advantages, we cannot go for maintaining all these different mechanisms of three rollers etc. Now, let us go quickly, what are these? Centering and fixtures are totally avoided. So, because there is no dead center or live center etc., so that there is no question of going for setting. So, that what will happen, time is going to be reduced. Used for both external and internal grinding. So, the central grinding will be used for both external and internal. Next, once setup has been made, it is faster method. So, once a setup has been made, it is, that is only setup is the time, then it goes on very fast, and we need not go for each and every piece to be setting. And here one setup is there, any number of things with the same setup we can do it. The next one is in through feed, process is continuous. So, what will happen when the process is continuous? No ideal time, that is continuously it is going on. So, no loading and unloading. Chances of deflections can be avoided, hence very suitable for long jobs. Chances of deflection, in case of center grinding, what happened, the work is held in between two centers, live and dead centers, and when you apply the pressure through the grinding wheel, it may slightly deflect or bend. So, that can be avoided, because here this work is supported with work rest as well as two grinding wheels. Totally grinding, wherever the grinding is done, at that particular portion we will have the support, either backup wheel or regulating wheel or with a work rest. All the things are there, so that there will not be any question of deflection, so that it is an advantage. Next, rapid and more economical grounding. So, rapid and more economical grounding. Why? It is due to heavy cuts, because the support is there, no deflection, so that we can go for heavy cuts. That is why we can go for rapid and more economical. Errors due to wheel wear is reduced. So, why it is reduced? Because grinding wheel is having more in a size. Next, very little maintenance. Maintenance is less. Skilled operators are not needed, because here once setup is there, there is no question of thing. Next, cost of production is less. Here the cost of production is less, means because the time is wasting is less, and within the same time we are producing more number of work pieces, so that we can get more production, so that cost is going to be less. Now, so definitely when there are an advantages, definitely we find a disadvantage also. Let us see what are the disadvantages in this centerless grinding. The first one is concentricity of the hole shafts cannot be concentricity of hollow shafts cannot be maintained. So when the hollow shaft is there, outside and inside diameters, the concentricity may not be maintained. That means the variation of thickness might be there. Multiple diameter parts, that is shoulders, etc., can be ground. So that is multiple diameters, that is stepped workpiece, etc., and the workpieces which are having shoulders can also be ground here, and flat surfaces and keyways cannot be ground. Here these things cannot be done. That means only certain feeds we can do it, whereas flat surface and keyways cannot be ground. In the other cases it can be done, whereas here it is not done. These are the limitations of this particular things. Now let us go for internal grinders. So we have seen that what is the external grinders in that centralized. Now let us go for internal grinders. The grinding of internal surfaces are used to finish straight tapered form holes to the correct size, shape and finish. Here straight tapered and formed, all these are same as in external, but here holes to the correct size, here holes. So holes inside, that is internal grinding is required. So holes to the correct size, shape and finish. The direction of the rotation of the wheel is usually opposite to that of the workpiece, whereas in other grindings the direction of the wheel as well as the workpiece both rotates at the same direction, but whereas in internal grinders it is in a opposite direction. Now depth of cut, how much depth of cut can be taken in internal grinders? 0.5 to 0.02 mm in rough cut, whereas 0.002 to 0.01 mm in a finish cut. So this is about the grinding thing. Now let us see how this machine, the internal grinding machine can be done here. See, this is the work, and here this is the grinding wheel, and here it touches here, see, and here this rotates and this rotates, the grinding will be done. Right. Now types of internal grinding. So there are checking type, planetary type, centerless type. So that means work is put in this checks, and planetary, next one is centerless. Let us go for individually how this works. When it is checking type internal grinding, either tool or work reciprocates. So in this tool or work reciprocates, cross feed for depth of cut. To get the depth of cut we go for cross feed. Table reciprocates, carries work head in the check. Wheel is fed towards and away from the work and also fed across the work. So the wheel is given two movements, that is traverse as well as a cross, both can be given. Now you can see these different types of figures on this internal grinding through the checking. Next is a planetary grinding. Work is held stationary, rotating spindles, eccentrically moved, planetary, eccentrically moved. So here what is happening is, in the previous figure we have seen that the grinding wheel has rotated like this, but here when it is planetary, this is grinding wheel, it rotates, and like this it rotates. So it rotates by itself, by its own axis, as well as it rotates along. This is the workpiece, inside this we have to grind. So here it rotates like this. So when it rotates like this, so this is called planetary movement. So that is given here, and where it is job is difficult to rotate when it will be done. So because workpiece is fixed, it cannot be rotated. Say it is a heavy size, then it cannot be rotated. Rotated means it can be, but it takes lot of time and lot of cost, and certain mechanisms are needed that can be avoided. In such a case we take this. Next is wheel suited to grind holes of very large diameter and awkward workpieces. So whenever large diameters are there and awkward workpieces which doesn't have the things, then we can go for it. Hello? Hello?
I am from Warangal Polytechnic.
Please ask your question, please.
Sir, my question is, how to conclude for completion of grinding to the required size in centralized grinding? It is possible have online measurement.
You repeat your question, please.
Sir, How to conclude for completion of grinding to the required size in centralized grinding?
To the required
Size in
Size.
centralized grinding. Is it possible to have online measurement?
Okay. So here what happens is, whether it how online means, when you go for automation, then we can go for it. Then is when there are different lengths to be maintained, whether it is through feed or in feed or end feed, based on that we have to do it. So in one type of centerless grinding, we have seen that first both the wheels should be adjusted, whatever the required gap is there and how much it is there. Whereas in other feeds, as per that we have to do the things. When it comes to the online, generally we go for when automated machines are there, generally we give it to the programming, computer programming, how much movement it has to be do, how much movement it should go and where it stop. In such a case we can do it, but in ordinary conditions then we have to do it through ourselves. Right. Next, coming to the continuation of these things, there are different types of grinders. Here these are the grinding operations, different operations. See here the plunge, here only you will get see here there is a more gap, and whereas here it rotates internal grinding, here plunge grinding, and this is tapper, how to give the tapper. So here the angle should be given, and whereas here internal grinding with wheel head swiveling, so that here we need a chamfering, then we get it here, and here it is the face grinding, the it is 90 degrees to the face of the things. Then these are the different types of internal grinding, and this is the different types of machines, the latest machines, whatever that these are the control techniques which we can adjust all these measurements online, whatever it may be, and here also you can see different types of machines. Next one is a centerless internal grinding. So external centerless grinding principle also applies to the internal centerless grinding. So whatever the external centerless grinding principle is, the same thing will happen here, and here regulating roller, supporting roller, pressure roller. So here there are 4 things, whereas in external cylindrical centerless grinding we are having only 2 rollers, whereas here it is a 3 for loading and unloading, the another extra roller which is required, and workpiece is supported by set of 3 rollers. That is, as I told, it is a 3 rollers are there, and here if you see the principle, so this is a regulating wheel as we have seen in the external this also, and here pressure roll, supporting roll. So these 2 are there. Another thing extra is given pressure roll, which is given extra in the internal centerless grinding, whereas in external centerless it is not like that, only 1 roll and second roll, third grinding wheel. Here it is 4, and this is the grinding wheel, and this is the workpiece where we have to grind the internal surface of this. And here there are 2 things, this is grinding internal on the axis, whereas here it is above the axis. That means the grinding is not done on the axis, it is above the axis. Then this is the procedure we are going to maintain. So this is about the principle of internal centerless cylindrical grinding. Next one is surface grinder. So what is surface grinder? So as I told you in the beginning, we are going for to produce flat surfaces. Right. Now let us see what is surface grinder. Surface grinder machines are employed to produce and finish plain or flatter surfaces. Also capable of grinding irregular, curved, tapered, convex and concave surface. So in this surface grinding, it is capable of grinding irregular surfaces, curved surfaces, tapered surfaces, convex and concave. All the surfaces can be done in this grinding machines. Now how the classification can be done? Here reciprocating table along straight lines, rotating table, rotating work table for continuous rapid grind. So here there are 2 things, the table is reciprocating, second one is the table is rotating. In reciprocating table, how it reciprocates? In straight lines, whereas in rotating it is in a. So when we go for this rotating table, when the work is to be completed speed, then we go for this rotating table. Here you can see different types of surface grinding machines, horizontal spindle reciprocating table. So here the table is reciprocates, and whereas vertical double spindle rotary table, the table rotates here. Horizontal spindle reciprocating table, here spindle is a horizontal, whereas this is a reciprocating, and here you see the movements, 3 movements, and here the movement is given to the workpiece, whereas here this traverse movement is given to the wheel head, and different movements, and horizontal spindle reciprocating table type. So here the table reciprocates, and this is a spindle is horizontal. Next, these are vertical spindle reciprocating table, this spindle is vertical, this is the grinding wheel, and here this reciprocates up and down, and again here this movement cross feeds. Horizontal spindle reciprocating table, double column planar, that is a planar type, and here single column floor type. So here is a column is there. These are different types of surface grinding machine. Now let us see how the working principle of this surface grinding will be there. Here it is a working principle of horizontal spindle carrying grinding wheel. So when it is horizontal spindle reciprocating table, grinding wheel will be carrying on horizontal spindle, and work is a rectangular work. So on this rectangular works can be done, and table is mounted on a saddle. So here the thing comes saddle. The saddle is on the slides, and longitudinal feed by reciprocating table movement. Through the table movement we can get the longitudinal movement. Next, what is the working principle? Cross feed either on the table or work head moving in and out. So cross feed will be given how? It is on the table or work head moving in and out, and table has T-slots for fastening magnetic checks, vices, fixtures, etc. So here fastening, how? Magnetic checks. This is one work type of work holding device which comes in surface holding, surface grinding machine, which holds the workpiece. So the magnetic properties for this check will be there. The magnetic flux flows through that particular, when there is a lever will be there, that lever is given, then the magnetic field will pass on and off, so that that particular thing will be magnetized, and so that it will hold a good this. Next, vices and fixtures, etc., all this comes under work holding devices, and cutting is done on the periphery. So the cutting is done on the periphery of the grinding wheel, and it is used for flat surfaces. And now if you see here, this is the basic principle of this surface grinding. Here it is a horizontal spindle, see bed, saddle, table, column, and here the saddle again is on the table workpiece will be put, bed, and all the things as whatever the cylindrical type grinding machine we have studied, the same things will be here, whereas in the case of there 2 tables are there, here 1 table and a saddle, on the saddle table will be there, and in case of universal things we can swivel these tables or workpieces, so that we will get the same figure. If you see in some other, now you can find here, this is the bed and this is the table, and here there are the slides for to magnetize this table, so that magnetize, and here this is the grinding wheel, and this is a spindle, this is wheel head, and how this appears in the same figure. Now let us go for vertical spindle reciprocating table surface grinder. So what this the spindle is vertical. So what type of cylindrical what type of grinding wheels used? Cup type, cylindrical or segmented wheels, and these wheels are driven by hydraulic means. Next, cutting is done on the revolving edge of the grinding wheel. Cutting is done on the revolving edge of the grinding wheel. Higher capacity, the capacity is more, faster stock removal, used in production machines and used where accuracy is not important. As I already told, the surface grinders are used for heavy stock removal, so the accuracy will not be there. Now in the same case, the horizontal spindle, rotary and all these things will have the same thing, but in case of rotary table, the number of workpieces we can put at a time, more number of workpieces, say in a round, so that number of workpieces can be done at a time, and the work is continuous, setting time is less, etc., can be done. Now if you see this figure, this is here vertical spindle, and this is the magnetic table. As I said, this magnetized, so that that particular workpiece will get magnetized, so that it can hold the things. And here if you see this different type of machine, this is a jig type grinding machine, this is the grinding wheel, and this is a vertical spindle grinding wheel. Next, these are horizontal type of grinding machine and vertical type grinding machine, etc. will be there, and all these things are working on the same principle whatever we told. So, in case of horizontal and vertical, this thing will be there. So far in today's class we have studied about different types of precision grinders, that is cylindrical grinding, and in that again center type and centerless, then internal grinding, center type and centerless, then we have studied surface grinding, reciprocating table as well as rotary table, again in this horizontal spindle as well as vertical spindle.